In this video, I'm going to discuss 3 different approaches you can consider to set and manage your customers' expectations, and also I'm going to cover how each of those might affect your customer acquisition rates and your customer retention rates. So the 3 approaches are: 1. To overpromise and underdeliver. 2. To underpromise and overdeliver. And 3. To make promises and deliver accordingly. So, with the first approach, you might see a surge in your sales initially because customers will be enticed by the big claims you make. However, once they start using your products and services, they're going to feel underwhelmed, disappointed, and deceived. They're going to take out these frustrations by writing negative reviews about your business. And as those negative reviews build up, you're going to develop a bad reputation, and you don't want that. It's very hard to come back from a bad reputation, and even if it's possible, it's going to take a lot of time. You can claim that your products and services are the next best thing since sliced bread, but customers are still going to be reluctant to do business with you because your bad reputation means they can't trust you. So avoid this at all costs, no matter how tempting it might be to make a bit more in sales. The second approach, my favorite, underpromise and overdeliver. Although initially this might cause a slower build-up of sales, the customers you do acquire will be pleasantly surprised and delighted with your products and services. And that's going to lead to them writing overwhelmingly positive and complimentary reviews. That's going to help establish your social proof. And once you have what's the word I'm looking for? Once you have a large pool of positive reviews built up and established social proof, it's going to be easier and easier for you to acquire new customers. And not only that, you'll also have strong customer retention rates because you've built up your customer base based on exceeding customer expectations and delighting them. And 3, the third approach is to make promises and deliver accordingly. This is also a suitable alternative to the previous approach. I'm going to make some comparisons between the two. With this approach, you are likely to get more sales initially because you're not under promising, so your offerings will be a little bit more enticing. The drawbacks are, instead of delighted customers, you're probably going to get satisfied customers. So that means more 4-star reviews instead of 5-star reviews. Positive reviews written in a mild-mannered way instead of in an enthusiastic way. And just overall, when it comes to making repeat purchases and recommending your business to others, there'll be less intensity behind the customer's attitude and willingness to do so compared to if you under-promised and over-delivered. Regardless though, it is a well-rounded approach to consider for both customer acquisition and retention. Now I'm going to discuss which of these approaches I'd recommend depending on your business's goals and life stage. As you can imagine, with approach 1, over-promising and under-delivering, I would not recommend this at all. Very few businesses can sustain this practice and be sustainable. Let me say that again. Very few businesses can sustain this practice and be successful, because it would rely on having a business model where reputation means little to nothing. So an example I can think of where this might actually work is if you're strictly an offline business selling souvenirs to tourists. In that scenario, you're not looking to do future business with your customers. You're not concerned about the consequences of having unhappy customers. You're looking at it from the perspective, I'm targeting an endless stream of new tourists that are going to pass through my store and I'm never going to see them again. So it creates this very now or never mindset when it comes to sales. But for most businesses, this dynamic isn't applicable. Most businesses adopting this approach, again, will end up with negative reviews, a bad reputation, and these things will drive away new customers from doing business with them like a bad stench. Now, when it comes to under promising and over delivering, I would recommend this approach if your business wants to prioritize customer retention. It's particularly great if you're a new business that has the patience and the financial runway to adopt this approach. You do need these two things, patience and financial runway, because initially your build up of sales may be slow and you need to be able to survive through that. But like I said, the end goal is really worth it with this approach. You will have strong customer acquisition rates and strong customer retention rates. You will have overwhelmingly positive reviews and delighted customers. And lastly, the third approach, making promises and delivering accordingly. I'd recommend this if you want to prioritize customer acquisition. Again, because your offerings will be more enticing than if you were to underpromise. It's also particularly great if you have a business that's already well established and has authority. The reason I say this is because usually when you match customer expectations, they'll be satisfied but not delighted. But because of the added social proof and authority you already have, these things can work like a halo effect to make customers feel delighted instead of just satisfied. So there you have it. That's my thoughts on the 3 approaches. I hope you found something useful from this video. Thank you and take care.